8-month-old Chi-Chi, suffering from dilated cardiomyopathy and heart failure, received a life-saving heart transplant from mainland China after a 5-month wait. The successful surgery, completed late on the 16th, marks Hong Kong's second cross-border organ transplant. The hospital authority lauded the efficient process, highlighting the swift 2-hour 18-minute transport time, an hour faster than anticipated, demonstrating the effectiveness of the strengthened collaboration between Hong Kong and mainland China established since the first such transplant in late 2022. While a timetable for a permanent cross-border organ donation mechanism remains unspecified, officials are committed to continuing to refine the process and build a solid foundation for future cooperation. After over 5 months in the children's hospital, Chi-Chi, an infant girl, received a life-saving heart transplant from a mainland donor. Following 2 appeals from the hospital authority, her father, Mr. Zhang, expressed gratitude to the relevant departments, medical staff, and the donor family at a press conference, praising their generous act in such a difficult time. The Hong Kong Council for Accreditation of Academic and Vocational Qualifications, HKCAAVQ, uncovered 5 cases of fraudulent academic credentials used for teacher registration and other purposes in the 2023-24 academic year. One case involved a 42-year-old British passport holder who allegedly forged a University of Exeter primary school English teaching certificate in an online application for credential assessment. Investigations are ongoing. A middle-aged man was found dead yesterday morning near Tiger Head Mountain on Lantau Island. He had collapsed next to his mountain bike. Passers-by alerted emergency services, and he was airlifted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. He'd been cycling with a friend from Discovery Bay to Mui Wo, separating near Yi Pa Ko. The man reportedly collapsed while carrying his bike uphill, not while riding. Police are investigating whether he had any pre-existing medical conditions. The case is classified as death upon arrival at hospital. Five defendants charged with rioting at the 2019 Wan Chai anti-government protest had their not guilty verdict overturned on appeal by the Department of Justice. The Court of Appeal remitted the case for retrial. The original judge recently granted a defense request to reopen the case for 2 defendants, allowing them to present a defense. Despite the prosecution's objection, the retrial is scheduled for March 10, where the pleas of 3 other defendants who intend to plead guilty will also be addressed. A 70-year-old woman lost over 60 million Hong Kong dollars after being scammed by a woman she considered her adopted daughter, who persuaded her to invest in fraudulent financial products in 2014. The scammer, along with 2 accomplices posing as a financial regulator official and a bank representative, defrauded the woman, using the money for purposes unrelated to the investment, including purchasing 2 luxury cars. The 2 accomplices are on trial in the High Court on charges of fraud and money laundering. The High Court ordered the confiscation of assets in Hong Kong belonging to former legislator Dennis Kwok, a fugitive wanted under the National Security Law, NSL, marking the first known instance of such asset forfeiture related to NSL offences. Kwok claimed on social media that over 800,000 Hong Kong dollars in assets were seized, including those belonging to his wife and mother. The government had previously applied to seize approximately 800,000 Hong Kong dollars raised online by Kwok under the NSL's implementation rules. Police declined to comment on the specifics of the seizure, stating only that all actions are handled according to the law. A 19-year-old man was attacked by two knife-wielding assailants in a Tuen Mun convenience store yesterday afternoon. He sustained multiple stab wounds but is conscious and receiving treatment in hospital. Police are investigating the incident as an assault and have assigned the Tuen Mun District Anti-Triad Squad to apprehend the suspects and determine the motive. A male police officer, currently suspended from his duties in the Kwai Sing district, has been charged with 1 count of indecent assault and 3 counts of common assault following allegations of assault against a woman he knew at 2 separate locations last year. The case was heard in Sha Tin Magistrates Courts this morning. The Housing Authority announced that applications for 5,060 units in 4 second-phase simple public rental housing projects, Kai Tak Zai Wan Road, Phase 1, Tuen Mun Ching Fuk Lane, Kun Tong Shun On Road, and Sheng Shui Choi Yuan Road, will open next Monday, July 24, with occupancy expected to begin in the 4th quarter. Secretary for Housing Winnie Ho anticipates strong demand, particularly for the Kai Tak Zai Wan Road project, and approximately 70,000 invitation letters will be sent to eligible applicants. The highly successful first phase of Hong Kong's Simple Public Housing Program, comprising approximately 4,440 units in Yuen Long and Nha Tau Kok, has received an overwhelming 14,200 applications since opening in June 2022. The Yuen Long project will begin phased occupancy in late March, with 100 units handed over daily, concluding in April or May. The Nha Tau Kok project will follow, commencing occupancy in June and concluding in July or August. Hong Kong's Q4 2022 credit card arrears reached a 6-year high of 571 million Hong Kong dollars, 0.35% delinquency rate, exceeding even pandemic levels. According to the Hong Kong Monetary Authority, write-offs also hit a 6-year high of approximately 898 million Hong Kong dollars, 2.18% year-on-year increase. This reflects the slower than expected post-pandemic economic recovery and the impact of promotional credit card offers, potentially leading some cardholders to utilize debt consolidation or cash advance strategies to manage their finances. The Legislative Council's Transport Panel will review the tram company's fare increase application on Friday. Despite a near 1.5-fold increase in after-tax profit to $11.2 million last year, the company cites rising operating costs, up 10% to $307 million, and planned investments, $68.2 million over 2 years for service improvements, alongside projected slower ridership growth and limited advertising revenue potential as justification for the increase, deeming it crucial for maintaining sustainable operations and service stability. The Transport Department will progressively replace approximately 13,000 audio pedestrian crossing signals yellow boxes for the visually impaired across Hong Kong starting in the second quarter of this year. Upgrades include added voice location prompts, Cantonese, Mandarin, and English at the base, tactile maps on the side showing lane markings and directions, and a brighter top for better visibility to the partially sighted. Furthermore, the department began replacing traditional yellow pedestrian warning lights at 230 zebra crossings last year with flashing yellow rings and flashing white lights on the poles. With full implementation expected by next month, all replacements are scheduled for completion by the end of 2027. A paragliding instructor and former police officer was sentenced to 200 hours of community service for a paragliding accident in Ngong Ping, Ma On Shan in October 2023, which resulted in a woman suffering a comminuted fracture to her lower leg. The court considered the instructor's long and unblemished record as a police officer before handing down the sentence, which reflects the judge's assessment of the incident and the instructor's level of culpability. Following the July 2022 Mirror concert incident at the Hong Kong Coliseum, where a falling screen injured 2 dancers, the subcontractor involved, Creative Stage Services Engineering Co. Limited, was fined $420,000 after pleading guilty to 6 charges. Further legal action is underway. The trial of Wong Kwong Wing, known as the Village House King, and current Yuen Long District Councillor Cheng Ching Ming, for alleged double lot development of a private housing estate, continued yesterday at the district court. A Lands Department senior land officer testified, outlining the procedures for applying to build village houses, including the mandatory public notice period allowing villagers to object on grounds such as potential flooding, requiring consultation with the Drainage Services Department, or even feng shui concerns, requiring consultation with village leaders, even if the applicant meets all eligibility criteria. A Hong Kong women's football team assistant coach, Wong Kai-wai, was acquitted of one indecent assault charge but faces a second. His application to permanently halt proceedings, claiming trial by the same offense twice, was rejected by the High Court, which ruled that any conviction could be appealed later, and delaying the trial was unwarranted. The Consumer Council's review of 16 baby diaper rash creams revealed that 12 contained concerning ingredients such as fragrances, fragrance allergens, and preservatives, potentially causing irritation, allergic reactions, worsening diaper rash, or even neurological problems lacking ingredient concentration information. The council couldn't assess the risks. The council's chief executive urged manufacturers to clearly label complete ingredient lists and concentrations, and regulatory bodies to implement stricter safety and labeling regulations for diaper rash creams. Similar to other regions,